Well, good evening. My name is Mark Belish. I'm co-founder of Guhuza, and I'm joined by.
Mark Anthony Jackson, and it's not evening, Mark Fallacious night this time. Come on, keep up. I'm talent client coordinator here at Guhuza, and it's so great to be back in the co-pilot seat this week. Um, Last week I flew solo, and we talked about the market and a series of bad dates, essentially, right after Valentine's Day. So, with the idea of being ghosted. So, Mark B, we're back.
We're
What's
back.
going on?
Well, so it's Sunday night, February 22nd. This is our weekly show where we talk about jobs, interviews, hiring, AI, and the real job market, not just headlines. And Guhuza is helping make hiring faster and job searching easier and simpler and more human. So we got some numbers. Some of the numbers kind of came out over the last little while, but we're going to go back a little bit in time. The U.S. job numbers, unemployment rate 4.3%, 130,000 non-farm payroll jobs added in January 2026. We had healthcare gains 124,000, professional services 34,000, construction 33,000. So pretty good numbers in the U.S. Like, I mean, it's not like the 300,000 jobs that we had from before, but it's still decent.
Seeing a lot going into healthcare, right? Lots going into healthcare there.
Yeah, yeah, good numbers there. And then
That's where the budget is right now, for real.
that's true. Yeah, and then the Canadian job market, they came out a little bit earlier this month, but we haven't like we talked a little bit about it, but just to cover some highlights, 25,000 jobs lost nationally in Canada. Ontario, the province of Ontario, lost 67,000. Alberta up 20,000. Key sectors down were manufacturing, education, and public administration. So manufacturing jobs going to the U.S. maybe. Um,
Yes. Yeah. Even it's kind of becoming regional in Canada too. They like even like as the jobs push out of Ontario, they're going out to the other areas, the other provinces. So that's interesting as well.
yeah. Yeah, unemployment sticky 6.5%. So kind of comparing that from 6.5% in Canada to 4.3% in the U.S. A little bit different tracking that they use, but still pretty big difference there. One of my favorite days is usually the first Friday of a month when the job numbers come out for both Canada and the U.S. And I like to dig in, like if you wanted to Google, if you're watching and you're like, well, where are they getting these numbers from? You can just go labor force survey and put in the month, so January 2026 for Canada, and for the US, just put BLS, which is Bureau of Labor Statistics in the US, and put in January 2026, and you'll be able to see what sectors. And I think it gives you an indication of where jobs are being created, and it breaks it down by age and sex and like industry and province and even metropolitan area. So really good resource.
Would it be fair to say that jobs aren't disappearing so much as they're just moving? Would that be a
Yeah,
fair assumption to say?
yeah. I mean, with chat like AI this, AI that, it's like every industry is getting impacted in one form or another. And yeah, I mean, that there's a lot of stuff, and you know, we're going to talk about this in a number of interviews, but the reality is like there's always jobs, there's always things happening, there's always new businesses coming around, there's always businesses that open up in a certain area, they close down, of course, they move, they relocate, but in big like North America, it's 400 million people, so there's always stuff going on, right? Moving in, moving out. Some cities, yeah, for sure, are losing jobs, and other cities are gaining, right?
I
Other
don't want
areas.
people to feel unmotivated in this environment. There's activity. There's still activity, right?
Always,
There's always
always,
activity. So don't feel demotivated. Just like you might have to look somewhere that you didn't expect to look,
exactly,
further out. Just think about that. But
100%.
continuing on, Mark, as
Yeah,
we
but
go
the
on.
actually, and we delve into all the stats. We get all the reports. Mark, you and I go through these quite regularly, and professional and IT staffing hours are up 3 to 4%, which weird in a way because you'd think that AI would take away these professional white collar and IT staffing type roles, but hey, it's doing pretty well. So just be ready. Like if you're looking for a job, pivot, learn new skills, stay flexible. It's all about that right now, right, Mark?
Yeah, I mean, companies are hiring to solve problems, right? They're hiring these IT people to solve problems, and even with AI, the problems still occur. So keep that in mind too.
Yeah, I think we were on a Zoom call together last week or the week before where somebody said something about AI. It's like 10% you still have to come up with the idea and what you want to do. 80% sure have AI in whatever form that is do the heavy lifting. And then 10% you have to review what the AI came up with and
Yeah,
kind of reiterate that, right? And it's a cool way of looking at it, right? So you have the idea, you have a question, you go to chat to give you the answer. That does 80% of the research, and then 10% you get the response and you analyze and you figure if that's right or not, right? Kind of cool.
exactly. Yeah, it is kind
Yeah.
of cool.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So what's next, Mark?
Huh. What is next, Mark? um,
First, first
go right ahead.
interviews.
First interviews.
We saw this stat this week.
The 1 million stat. Are you trying to talk about the one
Yeah,
million stat? Yeah, I think it's so interesting to see 1 million first interviews happen a day,
every day
right?
in North America.
In North America. That's a crazy amount. And most people are getting lost in the post and pray noise, right? Most
Yeah.
people aren't even thinking they're gonna get this connection or even thinking they're getting this connection. What's going on, Mark? What can you add to this?
Well, I mean, somebody said, "Oh, jobs are gonna be just lost. Like every day, there's like gonna be less and less jobs in the future." I think, Elon Musk said, we'll never have, we'll get to a point where there's no jobs. It's like, well, so what's gonna happen with all these jobs, like people that need to do stuff, right? Like, is the whole world gonna be automated? Like, I don't think so. So, 1 million first interviews, even if it was cut in half, it'd still be 500,000 interviews each day, and even cutting it by half, like that would be enormous job losses.
Now,
So
how many of these interviews would you say? I don't know. We don't have stats on it, but how many of these interviews are actually meaningful? Are you just, connecting with a robot to do your first interview?
yeah,
In reality, what is it? Is it, we don't know.
oh, we don't really know. But
Yeah.
it's probably similar to dating sites. I mean, one of the concepts that we used with Guhuza in formulating the idea of like, just getting pinged for a live interview and on the spot with an employer was a dating site model. Hey, like, hey, are we compatible and next and until you find the match. So how many first dates it turned into like ultimately a marriage, say, or a long-term relationship versus like just one date and that's it. So same kind of thing, right? Same concept. I mean, it's a job, it's a different area, but you're still trying to match two people up, right? Two companies. So we talked, also got a stat this week, 86% of executives are increasing AI spending, and just it's where we are. So if you're looking for a job, like, and companies are hiring or increasing their AI spending, there's probably opportunities there. And some other quick stats, quick snapshots. CFOs were studied and uh, surveyed in some new things, and they talked about boosting their tech and AI budget, 75% for tech, 60% for AI budgets. But this is the one I find really interesting. 42% see serious risk with AI fabricated candidates in the job search world. And 54% of recruiters are seeing AI assisted or fake candidates in the hiring process. So you can only imagine the frustration that recruiters have, right? So what's your advice for job seekers?
I've talked about this week too with on my Thursday at 2 o'clock, my weekly Thursday at 2 o'clock. Um, the main thing, don't go onto those websites. There's a lot of these AI apps saying we're gonna help you apply to 1 million jobs and get you interviews. If you go onto one of those sites and put on your resume, it's gonna get flagged. You're gonna get flagged for spam. They're gonna say this is AI. Even with AI, the AI features on, let's say, LinkedIn, right? They allow you to edit your resume to make it look better for the job. Recruiters still don't like that
Yeah.
because when they call you and you have no idea what you're talking about, it makes things look bad. So
Yeah.
my advice is to stick to one resume, right?
Right.
Really stick to one resume. You could use Guhuza's AI analysis feature, take a look at your resume, identify the gaps that you have, and really fix it up. But try to stick to one resume because these recruiters and everyone you're sending out your resume to is getting collected into these databases. And sometimes they could see you have 4 resumes, right? Well, why do you have 4 resumes? So just keep that in mind as well. And they're all different. So keep that in mind. Try to keep one resume.
For sure, yeah, it doesn't look good, and I always over the years, 30 years in the recruiting space, and I always like, if you're not at least 80% a match for what the job is, like, don't even bother, because somebody else is going to beat you, and if you don't like what's an 80%, decide, right? You should know whether you can fill like 80% of the requirements for this position. So 80%, and similarly, like, we only ping out on Guhuza, like, we only ping out candidates that are matched or a close match for the position. So if you're not a good match, you're not going to get pinged anyways. So it save you a lot of time. So 58% of employees now prioritize well-being over 10% increase. That's pay increase. That's interesting too. That came across. People are putting positive well-being over dollars, but that's 58%. But 40% still are prioritizing pay increases over well-being.
You know what it probably is? It's probably since COVID, right? It's since
True.
COVID and all that happened. People, you're still hearing these days, companies want you to come back to the office. They want you to work, be there 4 days, 5 days a week, just to make sure that they can keep the lights running there. And they have rent to pay, they have bills to pay as well. So that's probably where that's where I'm thinking this stat is coming from.
Yeah. There's the yin and the yang between work from home and needing to be in the office. Struggles everywhere on that.
You know what I've heard a lot though from Gen Z? They like the idea of hybrid more. A lot of Gen Z, a lot of people around my cohort, they really like the idea of hybrid because it's just the ability to see people and interact with people, as well as I could be home, I could relax and still get my job done. So that's also something to keep in mind too.
Yeah, getting the best. Actually, speaking of which, we're talking about different generations. I'm throwing this into the mix, but do you know what the generation is after Gen Z?
Alpha, right?
Alpha, yeah. I didn't know that. I found out this week. So those are the people born after 2010. So they're like 15, 16 years old now.
My cousin's one of them. Oh god.
There you go. Gen A, Gen Alpha.
They're different breed.
That's right. So we just got a couple minutes left here. Some of the many roles that we had this week on Guhuza: graphic designer, marketing analyst, care coordinators, recruiters. Book a demo. We'll show you how the platform works. Basically, you upload a job, push a button, start interviewing candidates live on the platform. Job seekers can register at Guhuza.com. We're close to doing our 2,500th interview on the platform, so we're going to profile the employer and the candidate that did that. Quick tip for job seekers, Mark A.
It's always good visibility plus preparedness, right? We have features on Guhuza, as I said before, the resume analyzer feature. That's a great feature to make sure your resume is up to date and accurate. We have our brain boost to sharpen your interviewing skills and to make sure you're ready for that position. So, there's things out there, there's tools available to you. Make sure to use them. That's my best advice, to make sure that you're visible, especially in this market.
And be ready for live interviews, because when you get that ping from Guhuza for a live interview, you want to be ready. Have practice ahead of time, like what you're going to say, how you're going to answer questions. Super Bowl, we never really talked about it because I was not on last week, but sorry, Mark A.
I was wrong. I was very, very wrong.
Yeah, you guessed the Patriots. I took the Seahawks because you took the Patriots, and so it's all right. But we'll catch up on another next big sporting event, I guess. So closing, market shifting, AI is part of hiring, part of job search, but real people still hire real people. Upload your resume to Guhuza. Upload a job to Guhuza if you're hiring. Join the Guhuza community this week. Did I miss anything, Mark?
Please be sure to register for my Thursday at 2 p.m. The link will be located in the description, if I'm not mistaken, Mark. Are you going to put that in here? Okay, so the link for my form, you can sign up on there, or you can sign up on our Guhuza LinkedIn page. And I'm excited to see everyone. There's no scripts, no fluff, just me trying to navigate the mess of hiring with everyone, right? So register and I'll see you there. Thanks, guys.
Live every Thursday at 2 o'clock Eastern.
Sometimes we have special guests too.
That's it. Surprise guests. All right. Thanks, Mark. Have a good week ahead.
Have a great week Well, have a great week ahead, Mark. Too. Let's enjoy it.
That's
Let's get
it.
stuff done.
Here we go. All right. Take care.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.